answer the question like, well, it started in whatever, because my voice won't be coming out on the final tape.
Oh.
Okay. Go ahead. How long has has Silver Lake been here?
It started in 1957. It was purchased by the Congregational Churches and United Churches of Christ in 1957.
And what is the layout of the camp like in terms of how many different sections for different campers?
We have 5 different sections that we can do 5 different conferences each week.
Okay. What are some of the goals of summer conferences? Some of the things. Well, let's let that loud band go by. You can both answer this in different ways or whatever you want. What are some of the goals of the summer conferences? What kind of things do you try to have happen with the young people here?
I think some of the goals are to try to get the young people to have them become, goofed it up.
That's all right. I'll ask you again. What do you think some of the goals are for the summer conference? And you could just say some of the goals are. You don't even have to say I think, you know.
Some of the goals are to try to help the young people evaluate where they are in their lives and how Silver Lake and learning more about themselves, more about God, and more about their peers can help this be a better world.
Terrific. What was the other question? And in this day and age of everybody running around and stuff going on, how do you manage to get people to volunteer to counsel for a week here? Where's your pool of talent? Notice you have a lot of people that seem very talented. How did they get them here?
A lot of these good people come from our local churches, and a lot of it is personal contact and invitation, and we do need a lot more older counselors in order to keep this good program going.
By older, Alden means in 30 to the 50 age group.
What can someone 30 to 50 bring to a conference?
They can bring a lot of wisdom, their skills and life experiences that young people need to know about.
All right, terrific. Next question's on the list. How do you choose? I notice you have a whole bunch of different kind of staff people. How do you go about deciding? I mean, you have a lot of people applying. Who gets on staff? What do you look for? You know, or what kind of people do you like to have on camps? What kind of people make up your camp staff is what I want to ask.
Why don't you answer that, Ruth?
Go ahead, you pick them.
Well, we're looking for a balanced community, and we want people from different kinds of backgrounds, different kinds of skills, and hopefully putting them all together into a community and having them function as caring about each other and caring about the people they're serving.
Terrific. Let's see. A lot of conference centers throughout, the whole country have different kinds of groups. I noticed this one basically focuses more throughout the year on youth. Why is the youth such a priority at this conference center?
The Connecticut Conference believes that the future of the churches is the youth, and we do spend a lot of time and energy and support the youth in their facing the world and trying to make the world a better place for their children to be. And so therefore it's very important that youth be considered as whole members of the church.
And Ruth, has this paid off, having the youth up here? How do you think?
I think the youth are terrific, John. In the state of Connecticut, we have some of the most wonderful young people who are committed to Silver Lake, who work very hard for Silver Lake, and who want to go back to their home churches and do whatever they can in that area.
All right, terrific. For the past 25 years, what are some of the things that you enjoy the most, in 25 years up here? What's most enjoyable to you? Surely you get tired of stuff. Surely it gets tough, but what's
John, the most wonderful thing is to see young people come to conference as a conferee, and then they come several years. They come back as counselors when they get older. In college, sometimes they come back and they're on staff, and also high school age young people, and they go out and graduate from college, and they come back and be deans.
And do you have any other thing that you like to add about what's...
Well, one of the high points in our ministry has been the learning that goes on here for the young people and how many of them have gone on to ordained ministry. We now have 3 people on our staff this summer that are talking about going to seminary. If they do decide to make that life commitment, we will have 167 people that have gone on to ordained ministry in the last 26 years.
All from this conference center?
All from this conference center.
Let's see. I noticed a building. I noticed the building of a second waterfront and new roads to the right, adjacent to the lake. What's all that all about down there?
Well, that's the expansion of the Silver Lake Conference Center. We purchased 16 acres of land because many good people helped us make that possible, and it really expands our programming. It offers more swimming and hopefully the future building sites for more building for handicapped accessible people and older adults, youth hostel type programs, and single parent family types of ministries that we're not be able to do right now with this facility.
Terrific. Things that go on here, how do you manage to year after year do the same kind of things with different kids, the summer program, and it not be boring? Why is it not boring to each of you?
There's always something new happening, John, and new people
Wait,
and new personalities.
You gotta take my name out. All right, that's all right. Just say there's always something. Go ahead. There's always something happening, new people.
There's always something happening, new people, new personalities, and it's just a great experience to see a new group of people coming in on Saturdays and Sundays for another week of conferences.
All right. Next question. You can comment on these different ones. How are young people learning about God? And then I'm going to ask you about outdoor ministry, the environment, and peace. What do they learn up here from these things? How is this place a learning center for those things?
Well, first of all, the Silver Lake Conference Center is kind of neutral ground for people to come and meet and become part of a Christian community where God is talked about, where God is identified in some of the experiences that go on, and where worship happens every day, at least once a day, and it exposes people to the calling of God and God's Word.
What about the environment and peace, those issues? Ruth, you want to take it?
Learning to live together for a week in a cabin or in a bunk room of 8 to 12 young people, and hopefully with the intertwining of different personalities that they can live in peace during the week, and they will carry that back to their home situations in their own home and within the church and also within their school and town.
Great. No priority here at Silver Lake. It's a priority in the UCC presently. How is that affected up here, or how is that brought through up here?
Well, we do many things like recycling, but probably the most important part of learning about the environment and taking better care of it is for us to have a more simplistic lifestyle where we get to enjoy each other more with less materialistic things, therefore not using so much of the world's resources to find enjoyment in living.
Terrific. How has the makeup of counselors changed through the year? Or has the makeup of the kind of people that counselors changed through the year? If so, how?
We used to have many women who had children of conference age that would come as counselors. Now, unfortunately, many of those women in the age bracket have to work to support their young people to go to college, to help them go to college. And so therefore our pool is very much lower than it used to be. And we get many men, some even take a week off from their vacation at Pratt & Whitney or other commercial.
That's all right.
And
Okay.
to help and come during that week. And I think it's pretty wonderful when they are willing to come for a week as a counselor and use that as one of their weeks of vacation.
Terrific. All right. What do you guys like? What is your most favorite task and least favorite task up here? What are some of the things you enjoy doing as something you do as part of your job up here that you enjoy?
Something I really enjoy is registrations on Sunday afternoon, seeing all of the young people come in and expectancy of what's going to happen during the week and being excited and seeing their parents leave them and go off, and then for the young people to have a good experience and to enjoy themselves, to learn about themselves and learn about God.
How about you, Alden?
It's exciting to see people grow and mature and become fine adults in the community. To watch them and then see their children come back and start the whole process again has been a delightful experience for me.
And how many sets of people have been on camp staff and maybe met up here and been married and had kids that have been on camp staff?
Oh, John,
Go ahead.
I really couldn't give you a number, but it's been a lot of people across the state of Connecticut, and also from other states.
We had one guy up here from Hawaii. What do you think will be unique about the summer conferences of the 1990s? Which way are we headed in terms of conferences? In terms of
Don't click that yet. I got to think.
I think that young people will be much more willing to talk about their own experiences and to claim a faith in God and to deepen that faith in God.
In the years to come?
In the years to come.
Why do you think that'll be the case?
I just see that happening now, and this is the first year of the 90s, so I hope that during the rest of the 9 years that this will happen, John, and I really see young people becoming very involved in the world situations.
All right, terrific. Do you want to, who exactly can come to a conference? How do you answer that question?
Any person can come to a conference as long as they are a member of the United Church of Christ or congregational churches. That's not true. We have members of all denominations come in the summertime, and they sign up through the registration at the Hartford office, and everyone is eligible.
Everybody's open. It's welcome.
And what happens when you get that kind of diversity from different,
It's an enriching experience. It helps to give a model of a community of what my hope is the world will be someday.
Which is what?
That all will be treated as equal and just and peaceful types of communities.
Alden, what is your goal? What would you like to see in the next 40, 50 years for the Earth and our community of our spaceship Earth, so to speak?
I would hope that we would learn how to take better care of what God has given us, and that people help one another in the world so that we don't use more than our share, that by doing that it'll be a more just type of world where there will not be concerns like world hunger, injustices, that everybody will be treated equal, and that we will live in peace and harmony, not only with ourselves but with God's creation.
All right. And why if a parent's thinking of bringing up a kid to Silver Lake, what could you sort of say to reassure them in terms of what kind of place this is and what type of program goes on?
Well, this is the type of place that cares about each person, and each person is unique, and we try to preserve that uniqueness and accept all people.
And Ruth, what do you think?
I hope that we can teach everyone to get along with one another, to be neighbors and brothers and sisters in the world.
Okay. What goals have you seen that you set out with, or this place, or the Outdoors Ministries Committee has set out with, that they have been accomplishing? Go ahead.
When we first came here, there was room for 18 to 20 people to stay overnight. And now on weekends, we have room for 175 people in winterized buildings, as well as 260 in the summer cabins and buildings in the summertime.
Any changes? All in the goals that you've seen?
There are lots of changes. Changes happen every day. I guess just to see this grow and get the support from the local church families that we've gotten over the years has made it all worthwhile. And I hope that this place will continue to offer models that people can take back into their church and local communities and have it to be an educational type of experience, which it is.
How is this place supported monetarily? How does it stay afloat?
It stays afloat with everyone paying their own way. We are not subsidized in any way, so people that come here have to pay for what goes on here.
And how do churches get involved? Do they get involved at all?
Wait a minute.
Age groups. How is the structure set up for conferences?
Well, a dean is in charge of their program, and they recruit their own staffs. They put together their own program with the help from people at the conference office and myself, and they're responsible for their program. We're responsible to make sure that everything is clean and acceptable as far as the standard of living is concerned.
And how many sections do you have for conferences, and what's the average size of a conference?
Well, they vary in numbers we have 5 sections, and they vary from 16 as the smallest community up to 72, which is the largest community.
And talk about how many communities go on at one time.
Well, there are 5 to 6 communities that are here each week. If you call the camp staff, which is about 45 people, a community, then we have 6 communities each week here at the Silver Lake Conference Center.
And how do you explain, over the past few years, the increasing popularity of the summer conference program, with everybody in their electronic games and summer vacations? Why is this thing becoming more popular? Again, why are the numbers increasing?
I think it's because we've tried very, very hard to invite people, and we have done more to promote this program by doing a video that we send out to local churches if they request it. And we also are getting a lot more support from the local churches than we did over the years earlier on.
Okay. That is directors of the camp about summer conference program.
I think it's a great opportunity for all age groups, and not just youth, to come and share and live in a community for a week. And I hope that everybody will take advantage of the opportunities of the Connecticut Conference office over the years.
Ruth, anything you want to add about summer conference program?
I think it's a great opportunity for any person to come either by themselves or with a group from their local church. They get to know others from all over the state.
And they get to know others from all over the state. Anything else? And what kind of a time do they have here?
I hope that they have an enjoyable time, as well as learning about themselves and about their responsibilities as young people, and also peace in the world.
Awesome. Okay. Now this is what we call cutaways. So Alden, you're going to pretend Ruth is talking. Just sort of look a little toward her as if she was speaking. Yeah, like that. And we use that if we have to cut away between the two pictures. You see broadcast news? Probably not.
All right, John.
That's great. Now Ruth, do the same thing.